All right. So we're going to call to order the Town of Londonderry CIP Committee, October 22nd meeting, the sixth and final meeting in the CIP Committee series. Before we start, just again, a reminder for anyone watching at home that this is purely an advisory committee. We will be giving our opinion, our recommendation to both the school board and the town council, but simply as an advisory committee. And also that what we're trying to accomplish here is just an ordered ranking of the capital projects across the two boards. We are not here to debate the details of the individual projects. That's what the individual boards are there for. We're just trying to prioritize across them and give them kind of a guidance to go by. So with that said, we can move on to the start of the meeting and look for approval of the meeting minutes from August, I believe.
Mr. Chair, I'd make a motion that we approve the CIP committee meeting minutes from August.
We have a
Second.
motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
4-0. All right, with the minutes accepted, we will move on to our primary business. The fiscal year 2027 to 2032 CIP Committee project scoring, prioritization, and placement. So with that, let's open it up and look at what we have. This is the Excel sheet with what we currently have listed. On the left is the 2024 score, or the left scoring column is the 2024 score. The right column is what we currently have for our 2025 score. And then next to the 2024 score is our placement from the 26 to 31, so last year's CIP committee. All the way to the left, obviously, is the name of the project, then followed by the departments and the tentative cost of the project, as guesstimated best by the locale. Does anyone have any questions on how that is set up? All right. I guess I'm very open to how we want to approach this. Do we want to start by going through kind of revisiting each of the scores and see if we have any changes we want to make to the scores? Does that sound like a good place to start?
I think that's good because it'll probably help us also, but it'll help the public watching us and here.
Sounds
understand it
good.
better.
So let's just take it from top down, then let's make it go right from there. So going through the projects, the first one that we scored was the LEAP space needs in full day K in the 3 neighborhood schools brought by the school district. In 2026 to 31, it was the priority 1 placements with a 22-point score. It currently has a matching 22-point score for this year. And going on to the individual criteria, we had for address an emergency of public safety or school safety need a 0, a deficiency in service of facility a 5, provides capacity needed to serve existing population a 5, results in long-term cost savings a 3, supports job development a 4, leverages non-property tax revenues a 3, and matching funds available a 2. So with that, does anyone have any changes they would like to discuss?
I wouldn't make any changes, I think.
Nope, I'm good.
Deb, anything you want to discuss on this, or do you want to keep the scoring as it is?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right, so we got that scoring, we'll keep it as it is, and we'll continue moving right on down the list.
Sorry, Mr. Chair, do you want to do the prioritization at the same time, or do you want to come back to it?
I'm open for opinions. My first thought was we would get the scoring kind of in place, and then we would go with the prioritization using the scoring that we've aligned on as guidance.
That's
but
what I'd like to do.
okay,
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Just want to make sure I don't miss entering numbers, that's all. Thank you.
perfect. Nope, that's a very good question. Thank you for bringing that one up. So yeah, let's just go through the numbers, and then we can use them as our tentative as we go through our prioritization. So going down the list, the next scoring, it was the high school addition and renovation. So this one was for far out, but it was, our scoring had 5 for address emergency public or school safety need. A 5 for addresses a deficiency in service facility, 3 for capacity for future growth, 3 for long-term cost savings, 4 for job development, increased tax base, 0 for non-property tax revenues, and 4 for matching funds available for a limited time. I know that this is a longer-term project. I don't see anywhere where it says what the projected timeline was, but I do know that this isn't something we're looking for in the short term, and we did bring in the numbers quite a bit from what they initially were our first time we brought it, but I know it's still a lot to be done on this one.
Yeah, can I ask you a question on that?
Certainly.
So, matching funds available for a limited time, Amity, can you elaborate on what we talked about with that? I really don't recall.
Yeah, so this is a project that we believe could be eligible for building aid through the state.
Through the state?
But that, yes, but that requires you have to go through a whole application. You have to have a general manager in place when you submit the plan. So we're not at that point yet, but we do feel like if the criteria stays the same and there is available funds from the state, that this would be an eligible project for it.
Okay, great, thank you.
So I struggle with this because number one, it says renovations and they're talking about an auditorium. And I think that's kind of deception. I think people should know there was stuff that they needed maintained.
So it's addition and renovation, so that includes the 100 wings, right?
Yeah,
So that's
so-
the part that's the plywood and all that, so it's renovation and addition, not just addition or just renovation.
I understand, but they're not saying it clearly to people what it is, and that kind of isn't transparent to me. And I struggle with that because, and I struggled with it at the first meeting. I'm sorry. I really think it should have been separated because, yeah, they need the maintenance and they need to put the thing in the back and all of that, and I'd be 110% behind you on that. But when you say it's an actual, really a need, a number 5, is an auditorium a number 5? Is it? And that's where I struggle. I mean, you're putting something of need and safety issue really there with something that's really a want and a desire. So I struggle with it. So, I mean, I know I'm only one person, but I have a problem with it and the fact that it's truly not transparent.
Deb, your point is well taken on this end for us. This would not be anything on the docket for a while. We could separate them out the next time that it comes.
Oh, but I'm just saying, as it is here, I just, and it does, yeah, I could be for or against it doesn't matter. I just think that people need to know what they're looking at, not thinking one thing and getting another thing.
Hey, we could move this further out so to give us time, time, or whoever's gonna be on the next CIP, and for the school to, I think, detail somewhat there, because you look at the price of it, I mean, that's not gonna happen. And I think you got to break it down. I think the same thing with the DPW. You look at the price of that, it's exorbitant, where they just want a plan, so it's.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Art.
I think your point's well taken, and your point's well taken, Deb. I think so. We have a lot of work to do on this one. I think really what the point of this was to get it out here so that it at least was on people's radar. But realistically, we're looking, 5, 7 or more years out to iterate on.
But it's saying it's like a top priority, because it's saying that, or was it oh God. It says it's priority 3, which, it means that it's up there on the
I
list.
think most of that is because of the structural problems, that are there that need to be taken
And that
care
I
of. so-
agree, that to me would be right at the top, is the second part of it, right at the top,
Yeah.
though.
So could I
But-
just point out just one point of clarification? So if you look at the spreadsheet, it identifies the range right here as far as how it correlates to the priority number. So 3 is 4 to 6 years, which, from what I'm hearing, is the range we're discussing.
Yeah, I'd put it like 5, 6 years.
Yeah, we're not expecting to see a warrant article in March on this.
Right.
But that's what I
Right.
wanted people to understand.
Yep, I mean, that's why we're talking about it, here, so they can understand that.
So maybe that looks more towards the priority 4, deferrable, if we're looking at 6 years or,
Well,
you
I
know.
think, to Deb's point, combining the two together, I think, kind of muddies the waters. If we had them separately, we might have two different priorities.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. I'm not sure either one would get done any quicker, separated out, based off of where we're at and what we need to get done. So from the district's point of view, whether there were 2 projects or one, and Amy, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think we would be looking at moving one in any closer than the 5 to 6 year range. We just don't have the capacity right now to do that, so. That's kind of the reason we didn't go through an exercise of detailing it further out. We're just not at that point yet. So this was kind of let's put it 5, 6 years out. We've got this to, basically, we've got something to do with the high school. We don't really know what that looks like yet. We need to tease out what it looks like, how we're gonna do it, as a whole board, whether that's 1, 2, multiple warrant articles, what needs to come out of that. It's all just we're not sure, but we know something's coming up in 5 to 6 years, so let's make sure it's on people's radar so no one is caught completely off guard by it.
Well, I mean, my concern was the pictures we saw, it looks like there were issues that were in very bad disarray that needed immediate attention at the high school, from the photos that I saw. And that was my concern, and I kind of went along with it, saying that, yeah, we need the high school to get fixed. But then Amity was very kind and explained to me they have funds in the maintenance, they have the different umbrella buckets for everything, so that would get covered. So that kind of put my mind, and that's why I'm saying what I'm saying right now.
Yeah, and I think if something came up which changed the time, then we would be going through the exercise of splitting everything out, change that time frame. Like right now, there's nothing, and again, Amity knows the details, so correct me if I misspeak on this one. I don't want to overstep, when she's the expert. But if there was something that came up between now and say next year, where we said, oh, we now realize that the floors, for example, are gonna need to be done prior to the 6 year, 7 year window that we're looking at, then we would go through the exercise of separating everything out right then and say, okay, this is what we need to do, this is what it looks like for real.
Okay.
And we'll pull out the auditorium, we'll pull out anything else that we don't need to do, we'll address what needs to get done, keep those timelines original.
Okay.
So that we're not, because we don't want to bring anything, we don't want to surprise anyone, and we don't want to bring anything without doing proper analysis and vetting.
Okay. That was my concern. I just wanted to put it
And I
out there.
totally hear you on that one. It makes sense, and I agree. The need and want are 2 different things in this case, for 100% sure. So when they are separated out, that definitely
Changes
2
the
different
priorities
things.
of it. Yeah.
100%. Any other conversation on the high school project?
Yeah, I think we're in agreement.
Yep.
Nothing this year, but
Right, yep.
look ahead and see what's going to, work the best, what's practical.
Perfect. Next one, again, a school project, seems to be a recurring theme to start this one off. The SAU project. So we just heard a lot about this last night at the school board meeting, with the combined meeting between the school board and town council, which I thought was an excellent collaboration. So the SAU project, we scored it as emergency public safety or school safety need as a 1, deficiency in service of facility as a 5, capacity to serve existing population and future growth as a 5, long-term cost savings as a 5, job development increased tax base as a 3, and then non-property tax revenue and matching funds available were both 0s.
And we have this as a priority too, which means how many years?
So that was last year's, was a
Okay.
priority 2.
Because I really think.
This year, I would
Number
argue
1.
that now it should become a priority 1,
This is
the
number 1
least.
priority.
Yeah, that would be my argument when we get to the rankings, but last year, it was 2. I don't think we had
Yeah.
the details of how we wanted to do it, because it
Yeah,
also
yeah.
may have been part of Moose Hill last year, we didn't know. Now that we've gone past that, this becomes, in my opinion personally, it becomes much more we need to do this now to get out of the lease and not get caught in that.
Plus, there's been
So-
more detail on it, and both the town and the school are working together at it. so-
Yeah.
Correct.
So do you think that where it says, addresses deficiencies, should that be a 5 or should that be higher, like lower rather?
I suppose it depends on how you're defining addresses deficiency, because deficiency in service, if we lose the building without re-signing the lease, we have 0 service that we can do with that. We need a district office of some form. Now,
That's
you
what
could,
I'm saying, that's why it should be,
well, the 5 is the highest score, so this scoring is
Yeah,
different than it's different than the green numbers at the bottom.
The
The
green
green numbers
numbers-
are referring to the priority.
Yeah,
The
Yeah.
the scoring numbers are, 1 is the lowest and
this thing
5 is
needs
the
to be
highest.
fixed
It's,
for people like me. who
there is a
live
little
down.
bit of clarification that might be, I think we could probably work through in the off-season here.
Yeah, well, then the number 1 should be higher.
Public safety, let's see, emergency, from an emergency point of view, you mean?
Yeah,
I would,
because if it,
because of the timing and
the
this,
timing, if it doesn't go through, we're kind of, we snook it ourselves.
I could be convinced on that, on bumping that up, for sure.
Yeah,
That's
I
my
wouldn't have
only
a
thing,
problem.
I just wanted to see it really be, so that people know that this is a solid thing that has to get done. Like, there really shouldn't be like, oh, well, maybe, there should
Yeah.
really be, no question, this has to get done.
So with the, you know, the emergency kind of need for us, how we maybe say that's a 4 on this one, 3 or 4?
I'm good with, either. It's up to these two guys.
3 and 4 is all right.
yeah, that's one
4
where,
or 5, or,
if you look at that literally, it's not an emergency. I mean, nobody's gonna get hurt if we don't do this, right? But
Right.
there's a definite.
It's how you
need to do
define
it.
the emergency,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's-
and-
there's a definite need to do
Is-
it. So, you know, in terms of the scoring, I look at the scoring as independent of the prioritization, and I prioritize this as the number 1 priority. But, you know, so I don't know how to tie those two together,
Okay,
or how closely they have
Makes
to be
sense to
tied
me.
together.
Yeah, nothing, there's, as far as I know, and,
sometimes they're
have to be-
they're different, you know,
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
they're together, so it's, you know, it's just putting things together in your mind is more,
yeah, no, I get it, to your point, my understanding is the numbers don't have to, scoring doesn't have to drive the priority and vice
Right.
versa, so.
Yeah.
We could leave it as it is, but still
I'm not good with
prioritize.
changing it, but it's just, that's always been my concern with some of these numbers, is that, you know, they don't necessarily drive the priority that we want to assign. But I'm good with changing them if we want to bring it up, to make the number in line.
Maybe just put it to a 3, then we're kind of in the middle there, does that work for everyone?
that's.
Sure, fine by me.
Like, can we move that to a 3 for that, for
Got it.
the address emergency score?
Sir.
So with that, we'll move on to the,
You're good with the rest?
I think, if we're good with the rest of the
Yep.
numbers?
Yeah,
All right, so with that, we'll move on to the turf field project, another school district brought project. Again, this is addresses emergency or public safety or school safety need. This is a 5, service, a deficiency in service of facility of 5, population growth 5, long-term cost savings of 3, job development increased tax base of 3, and then matching funds and non-property tax revenues are 0s. And this is what we know at the moment, right? So, we'll say there is a effort going on to collect funds that could make that matching funds available a 5 and make this very minor. But we just don't know what that looks like yet, so
Yep.
bringing this as a placeholder right now, we can't say there's matching funds when they haven't been collected yet.
so, I'm gonna be the jerk. The addressing emergency and public safety, I don't see how this is a 5 and the other one's a 3.
Well, this is
Because
a
this isn't
school
An
safety.
emergency.
It's a school safety issue. The fields, some of those fields are
Is-
practicing. Have you seen the football
I
practice
have,
field?
and I do know, but there's also information out there that says turf fields are worse than grass fields, and vice versa. So that's why I'm saying it's not that you don't have a field. Your field's in decent shape. You still have to take care of turf fields. There are multiple injuries that can happen on turf fields, just as many as it can happen on grass fields. So that's where I struggle with that number.
Well,
in
I
my
would
mind.
say
Do I
it's not
we need it or
necessarily the
not?
game fields that they're referring to, it's the practice fields. If you've seen the back practice fields, they're all dirt and rock. And they're torn up because we can't get irrigation down there, there's just no way to do it. And we would be able to practice on this field as well. So that, to me, that addresses a major safety issue with those practice fields. We have injuries all the time, kids coming up with just torn up knees and legs.
I know this isn't the place to debate this, but I would love to see those numbers with actual photos and looking at it. And not that I don't believe you, but from my
Sure,
perspective,
I
when
can
I've seen it,
definitely connect you with Michelle, who has all the injury reports, for sure.
because, I mean, you had a big tournament, and we didn't even have an emergency vehicle there.
Those
The
are
kid
on the
broke
game
his leg.
fields, not the practice fields.
Yeah. No, we
To be
didn't have
fair.
we didn't have an ambulance at a tournament, and the kid broke his leg or arm or something.
I know, but my point was that was at the game field though, which we aren't saying are not saying are in bad conditions. It's the practice and all the other fields that are leveraged hundreds of hours more that are torn up and destroyed that with all the safety
So you're
issues
telling me
coming
that
from.
the turf field is now gonna be used just for practice?
Not just for practice, but it will be a practice field as well.
So they're still gonna practice on this bad field? So we're not eliminating the problem,
It's replacing the bad field.
you're gonna get rid of that field?
That's where it's set to go.
Okay. That's it.
Anyone else have any?
Nope.
So happy to vote on that top one. I mean, my opinion is
Oh,
I think
that's
it's that, but if you want to suggest a different number, we can put it up for committee vote.
That's
I'm
I'm
fine.
good with it, so.
I mean, to me, it's not a imminent need or anything. It's something you could put out because kids will survive, and as long as they're aware of what they're supposed to be doing, because my high school football days, the practice fields were crappy.
Mine as well. We
And,
practiced
yeah,
outside of Gill Stadium, and it was
you always
bad.
have your injuries from, football, so.
Yep.
All sports come with injuries,
Yes.
Valid.
period. Doesn't matter how good or bad the condition is,
That's
they
valid.
all come with injuries. And I think hockey's like the number one.
So shockingly, I found out soccer is the most concussions. I didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
well,
was
yeah,
surprised
but
by
no,
that because of the head balls and,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'll put-
Yep.
Yeah,
and the
that's
kids,
where
people
my
running into
my
each
knee
other.
problems started, soccer.
I wouldn't have guessed that, but, that's tangential. Okay, so do we want to move numbers? I mean, I'm also don't want to be draconian here and,
No, it's fine. I just
But-
wanted to bring it, that's how I feel. That's all
fair
there
enough,
is.
fair enough.
Yep, I'd say we leave it as is and just deal with it when we prioritize things.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. And then the second part of that is the grandstand, which is separated out here. Scoring is similar on this one, I think only because they're attached. And this one, I would totally agree on that top number, that it's a 4. I don't see that how the grandstand or press box is really a safety need. All the other numbers make sense to me on that one.
Yep.
I don't know what everyone else's thoughts are.
No, I agree.
with you.
Maybe take that top one down to probably a 0 from a safety need point of view. I mean, there a safety,
I mean,
Amy, do we have
Just
a
yours.
need on that, like a thought process on the grandstand for the
So I think
safety
it was,
need?
if you have the grandstand, you have a designated place where people sit, there will be ADA compliance,
Hmm.
and things like that, so I think that's the perspective we came with.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, people are just kind of going in different areas to sit and watch and that sort of thing.
Maybe a 1? It's not like, 'cause I get
to me.
that, but I don't think, I feel like a 4 is very high for that.
Yeah, I'd say
agree.
3 in my mind. I mean,
2 or
I'm
3.
more
you know,
with
if you're
the
gonna be playing
one,
games
two.
on it, you want
I'm more on your side.
grandstands, but
Yeah, I would go with a 1-2 on this one. Maybe,
let's go with it.
what do you think? Which
Yep,
one?
I'm good. 1?
1?
Yeah, that's,
Okay, can we move that top number to a 1 there?
Mhm.
And then the rest of them, I think
Stay the
we're
same.
good with. moving to the next one, we are on the recreation tennis courts. So this was brought by the rec department. This was the, address emergency public need, 3, deficiency in service of 5, capacity to serve existing population of 5, results in long-term cost savings of 5, supports job development 0, leverage non-property tax revenue 0, matching funds available for a limited time of 2.
That one's fine.
Yep, good.
Those all seem good to me, yeah. Everyone okay on that?
Yeah. I mean, there is, I think, a degree of need, but it's not imminent.
I couldn't hear what you said, Art. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
there is a degree of need, but it's not imminent to me. It's
No,
looking at it more, it's more of an anecdotally, so. But I know there are definitely some deficiencies there.
yeah, there's a lot.
It's some, you know, it needs to be on the list.
Yeah,
Definitely,
it
yeah.
does.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we're all comfortable keeping the scoring where it is at least?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wouldn't,
All right, so let's go to the next one going down the road, which is the TM OpenGov software. So that was brought by the town manager. For this one, addresses an emergency, public safety, or school safety need of 3, addresses a deficiency in service facility of 5, capacity needed to serve existing population of 5, long-term cost savings of 4, supports job development, increased tax base of 4, leverages non-property tax revenue of 5, and matching funds available for a limited time of 3.
I'm good with the numbers
yeah,
as
yeah, I
presented.
wouldn't change
Those seem
anything there.
pretty, yeah, I think I remember going through this and chatting through all, and they all made sense to me.
Yep.
Yep.
Great, all right, sounds like we're all in agreement on that one.
Yep. Has the
Um,
lowest cost.
yes, I know, I like that too. Moving right on to the easy for me to say, DPW facility. So for this one was addressed an emergency, public safety, or school safety need of 5, deficiency in service or facility of 5, capacity need to serve existing population, future growth of 5, long-term cost savings of 4, job development, increased tax base of 2, non-property tax revenues of 1, and matching funds available for a limited time of 3.
This one frustrates me just like the first one. But that's me.
It's too many,
It's too many
too
parts
many
to
things
it.
in
Could I
there.
could I add a point to this? So I think this was covered by Dave and the town manager in the meetings. I wasn't present, but, so the intent going forward is to have this in phases, right? So in my view at least, and I believe they articulated this as well, those would be separated out cost-wise, so this committee would have a better, like you were discussing with the other project, a better way to prioritize it and rank it. Obviously, that's not what's before you now, but just so you understand, that's the intent going forward. So of course, next year, when we go through this process, that's the goal, is to have the opportunity to do that. I know that doesn't maybe help too much right now with what's in front of you, but just so you had the full picture of the intent going forward.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So that's probably, I'm guessing their timelines then are following in that 4 to 6 year range, so the more the priority 3 desirable, and we'll figure it out next year type.
Yeah,
time frame.
it's a,
To me, falls the same way as the
Yeah, some
first one,
parts.
it's the school one. I mean, yeah,
like
it's
the
a
high
wonderful
school, right.
idea, but it's an awful big chunk of change, and
Certain parts are absolutely necessary, you know,
Certain
as soon
parts
as
could
possible,
wait.
and some parts are nice to have. Yep.
yeah,
No,
that's how I feel
I
about
get you.
it.
It's the same
I
thing.
mean, I wish it was broken out, because then you could truly give a real vision of how it's gonna be in the future, but
yeah, 'cause I'm more interested in like the cost of the master plan, 'cause that's where they at least have to start.
Mhm.
And there's never been one for that, and what is there has been very, very haphazard. Started with the leftovers from the World War II motor pool area
Yeah.
and transformer repair.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why it's a hazardous waste site.
yeah, PCBs.
So I guess maybe through that lens, these numbers probably make sense through the lens of they will be further refining this and breaking it down. you know, if you were to take it as a whole, these numbers make sense. I totally agree with your point, like breaking it down, phasing it, much like the high school,
Right,
breaking
because
it down.
there's things that
phasing
need
it.
to be done that are dangerous down there, I've seen it.
Yep, 100%.
But there are other things that are just
Right,
a
here's,
little bit over the top, they're not
here's your dream
necessarily.
scenario, and then
Exactly.
where is it gonna land in between? Yep, no, I
Exactly.
agree. So this, again, feels like similar to high school, a priority 3 type 1, where
Yep.
numbers are good for now, few years out, iterate, and we'll look at the iterations on it.
Right, I agree with you.
Perfect. All right, so let's keep the numbers, and then we can go through priorities now and the rankings.
Okey-dokey.
Great. All right, so I think we're ready to go back, Kel, to the main list, and I think did I miss one?
I just wanna say, we have someone in the public here, if we wanted someone to speak, if they,
Oh, we
wanted
did
to.
have public speak
I thought we
agenda
said we
after.
were gonna, you wanna do it at the end?
We did have it afterwards, but I'm happy to, Dan or Amy, if you want to give input at any
Well, I
point,
mean,
you're
you
welcome
should
to.
say something if
Yeah,
you wanna say
absolutely, no
something, now's the time.
Totally, absolutely. Feel,
Microphone, right to your left there, Dan.
I didn't have anything earlier, but when you were looking at the district office and you had the matching funds available.
Yep.
And you had 0, think about how we're funding that. Wouldn't you score
I
that?
went back and forth on that too, like,
Yeah.
the funds are kind of, because it's interesting because they're coming technically from the same pool from the town. But I see what you're saying, and one part of it is that savings, that the allotment to do that does have the savings on the interest.
Right.
So if you take that into account,
Correct.
it is a timely matching funds if you're looking at it from the point of view of a savings in interest by going with it the year that we have the surpluses to do so. So that makes, that
Yeah,
is
'cause-
an interesting point. I do.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about it and saying, well, the town has funds now available to help with
Yeah.
this project. If it might not be available later,
That's a
so
very good point.
just something for you guys to consider. That's all.
Yes.
Thank you, Art.
You're welcome.
That's a great point. That's a great point. I mean, I in that light, I'm definitely open to going with the matching funds because that does make a lot of sense for this particular one.
Yeah, does that apply to everything else though as well? Or how does that apply to the other projects we're talking about?
I think in this case,
Yeah.
because the funds are available just for a limited time from the town to use, I don't think that would apply to any of the other ones. We don't have that scenario for any of the other projects.
And I guess I would like to see a better definition. I kind of understand what you're
Yeah.
talking about, but, you know, my matching funds were always from outside the town, as opposed to just reallocating funds within different
That-
budget lines. I don't,
Yeah.
I don't know.
To his point, it is interesting on the other one, leverages the non-property tax revenues.
Well, that was like, maybe it's the other category then. Maybe it's non-property tax revenues, because that
But
would
it's
be.
not gonna impact.
Because there is
That's a
no,
good point,
there is
Anthony.
no tax impact on this, so that one might be, maybe that's where the bump up comes in.
I could
To account for
see that better, yeah.
Okay,
So what would you change it to?
so that, I mean, it's that's the entire cost of it, so maybe
4 or 5?
4 or 5 on that one, I would think, right? Like, we are leveraging non-property tax revenues for the entire project.
What do you
Yeah.
think, Art?
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
because, I mean, it's
I'm-
helpful, if we got it, it's
Well,
nice to have the
yeah,
money in hand.
We don't know
but,
what's gonna be there next year.
Exactly,
yeah,
next
no.
year it may not be there,
No,
so.
no, I'm good with whatever, you know, but
That was a good point, though, that it's not really matching funds, it's maybe put that as a 5 on that one, I mean,
Sure.
it's there this year, and it's.
And that kind of ties with the priority
Yeah.
of this. It,
Yep.
it shows that
It does bring that.
with all those
priority.
numbers being so high, it's like this is something that has to get done.
Yeah, no, I agree. So can we make that change? I think we're all in favor of that?
Yes.
All right, so can we make that change, Kelly? Bring in the,
I already got it.
oh, you are the best, she's on top of things, I
Always
don't even
not
need to say it. You rock.
That's why they pay me to be here.
That's why you get in the big box, right? All right, so with that, let's go back to we have our scoring in place. Now it's time to go back to our big sheet of prioritization. you want to start by going down and assigning the priorities? I think a few of them we already talked through and be pretty easy, and most, I think we're probably gonna be pretty quick on the priorities, and then we can kind of shift them around in the rankings.
So can we just talk quickly about what the two columns are, column H and column I, and what the difference are between those two columns?
Ellie, you want help? I'm
So-
gonna phone a friend.
That's okay. So, and I don't know as if this was done prior years. I don't see that it was, but essentially, the priority assignment should be the priority number that's associated with the green 1 through 6, and then
Yeah.
ideally we would put an estimated year within the 6-year CIP,
Got it.
if we can. That way you're
Ah.
correlating the priority number to a year.
So
I mean,
col-
it's kind of, could be like repetitive, given that there's somewhat of a year range associated with each priority number, but to clearly define where it would fall within the 6-year CIP.
So column I would be a year that we think we should,
Yeah, that was my long-winded
Okay.
version of that.
yep.
Great. Thank you for that. So let's go, why don't we just go project by project and priority and what year we think?
Well, I was just gonna say, if we know that the SAU is the top one, then that just, we all agreed on it, it's, we don't need
Priority
discussion, just
one,
throw that in there.
2025, 20/2026.
Yeah, so that kinda
Or
just,
2026, 27.
that's off
Well,
our
FY
plate.
27, but yeah.
FY, yeah.
That's
So
the
let's,
top.
yeah, so let's start with that, it's the easy one. SAU project is a priority one, and it's for the next available year, starting 27, I guess.
And FY '27 starts next
July
July,
1,
So
right?
next July.
July
correct.
1st,
July 1 of
2026.
26.
Got it.
So, I guess the question is, what's the second? What do you think? I think it's the
I would,
leap needed space, full day kindergarten one would be, for me, this number 2.
I would agree with that too.
But can we have multiple priority ones?
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, priority one just says urgent, it can't be delayed, there's no reason you can't have multiple on the same
Because
year.
I think that's a priority one as well.
Okay. I have no
My 2
problem.
cents.
Wait, did I put it in wrong?
I thought we
Yep.
had to do all single
But
numbers.
I think you can leave it there, I think you
I think the
actually
range is
inadvertently, you
equal.
got it right. I would also, because of the cost and the savings immediately recognized, I would also look at that Open Gov one
Yes,
Yeah,
that should be
absolutely.
a number 1 too.
as a
Yep.
priority one, something we should do ASAP.
Yep.
Those were the three that stood out to me.
Those are the easy ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Now comes the hard problem. And what was 2 again? How many years? 5 to 6?
2 was needed within 3 years to maintain basic level and quality of community services. That might
So-
be the tennis courts to me.
You stop thinking like me. Stop it.
You should be scared if you're thinking like me.
Yeah, we're more agreeable than,
All right.
I agree that the tennis court, because that,
It's coming up fast,
it is, and it, but it's,
but it's not quite a urgent, can't be
yeah,
delayed. It's
and
more
that
like
is
we
all
need.
to Mr. Salitas's, gum and tape and whatever.
Art's good at making things last a long time.
He is,
He's
he is.
great at what he does, that's for sure.
He is. So, yeah, so that would be a
Priority
2.
2, and maybe,
I know your fields are gonna be your number 2.
that would be our number, R2, if I'm going with that, yeah, but for that year, do we wanna do FY '28, FY '29? What do we think is the year to
By
put
29.
29? FY
3
'29,
years out.
couple years out?
For the tennis courts, you're going a couple of years? Okay.
I could be convinced on 28. My first thought was 28, like we deal with these priority
So
ones, and then
just-
that,
I-
28 is July 1 of 27, 2020, calendar year 27.
I think it
For
has
next
to be
year.
there, to tell you the truth, from what I've heard from the rec department. And they're trying to raise funds as well.
yeah. I mean, I would vote for 28 personally, but
I'm with you on the 28.
I'm good. Not with
28.
that.
Yeah,
does that sound all right?
I don't see the big
Not,
difference
there's
between
not a huge
28
difference, yeah,
and
it'll slot
29.
in. So it's a purely a recommendation tool, so they'll do
Yeah.
what makes the most sense anyway.
Yep.
So, okay, let's go with that.
So,
If you want to go easy, we can always go to the other side of the ledger and say DPW facility master plan and the high school additions are both priority 3 or 4, and
that's, I was gonna say
they can-
that the two, what is it, it's number 6 and number 7, the two turf fields and the grandstands would be 3s, and school and DPW would be 4, only because of, they need to be breaking
the
apart.
timeframes, yep. That
That's how I would put it.
kind of makes
Dates,
sense
I
to
don't
me. I'd say for this year, that makes sense to me. I think next year, based off of matching fund availability, we might be
And what
revisiting the
data?
turf and stuff like that. Like, for example, if we come in with, hey, we've got 85% of this paid for.
Yeah.
If we do it, then that changes it. But for right now, with no matching funds, that probably makes sense.
Yeah, because I think we're looking at more at all we know right now.
All
is
we know
what
is,
it's gonna
right, we
cost
can only
us.
look at what we know right
Okay,
now. And
yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
and I think from that point of view, I think that the suggestion, Deb, makes a lot of sense to me.
Can you hit me with that one more time?
Yeah, I almost think we should have an asterisk next to each of those, because I think
I know, right?
components of those projects are higher than priority 3, but.
But
the
once they
over-
get broken out,
Right,
once they
I
get broken
agree.
out, right? But
They need
as a whole, yeah, they're both big, and we don't know enough about them.
Yeah,
Did I give this right, or,
so.
that would be like 29, right? 3's at 29?
3 would be, a 3 is 4 to 6
4 to
years
6
out,
years.
so that's out as far as, well, basically out to 32, right,
So
effectively?
if you just
I
say the
think-
full
I got your
year-
priorities right, though, for the school,
3,
DPW, and
I
the
think
fields.
for the, I think the turf, I mean, honestly, they may all be, because of the range of 4 to 6 years, they may all be 3s right now.
Well, I thought that the two turf ones were 4 to 6s, because I think, I mean, were 3s. Well, I can't talk.
3 years?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
the,
so those would be
but
priority
the two big
2s.
numbers were 4s, because they need to be broken out, and next year they can lower down. Do you know
So-
what I mean?
so-
Power down.
So put it to the, so for right now, later than the 6-year scope of the current CIP?
So yeah, 7 and 8 is 3, and 11 and, where's the high school? 5 is 4. Correct? With an asterisk, meaning that
Yeah, that's why I
there's
said,
a caveat to it.
yeah, I don't think 4 is right, because, well, once again, I think components of it are necessary. So I don't know how to score it, so that's what I'm
Well,
saying.
that, I'm saying
Yeah, I
but next year, if it has a thing, like a little asterisk with a caveat saying, we need a further breakdown, then you can reassign it, like, to a lower number, right?
Yeah, well, that's why I say we need an asterisk next to those, because
I agree with
I
you.
don't think they're priority 4s, but I don't see how we can score them without knowing more about
And
them.
you know what I hate more than that is that they probably both fit, and this is just by looking at the numbers, and I don't like saying this, but like, they probably both fit under the 5 premature. Need more research, planning, and coordination. I think we all agree that they do
Yeah.
need that. But I also don't like putting them that low as a
But that's why-
priority. This
that's
doesn't
why-
feel right, neither of those feel right to me.
That's why, you know, the stating, like he said, an asterisk
Yeah, like some
Really
sort of an asterisk would be
says
nice
they're
in there.
important, but we need more detail and information, or you can
Yeah.
put an asterisk with everything that's in number 5.
Pretty
So,
much, we think they're high priority, so we're putting it at a 4, but they really are so premature.
yeah, so how
It's-
about if we did a priority 5, but just put for the year, FY '27, come back next year with the plan?
That's the whole purpose of it, is that each year is gonna be a little different, because what's put
Right.
further out, sometimes it just stays further out, but other things will move up, you know, on others, how we're right, so it's only as good as what we know right now.
Yeah.
So maybe, I kind of like the idea, put it as a 5, but then put the year as like maybe 27 or 28.
Yeah,
So it's like you need to come, we see the value, we see it needs to be done, something needs to be addressed soon.
yeah, the next
Right.
year,
But
the next
this
year
is-
is.
All right, so we all
consists.
agree on that then. We'll do the 5 with
It's
the
a fluid,
28,
flexible
and then
plan,
that's
so
it.
it's,
Yeah,
I
nothing
think
is cast in
27 is too
stone.
quick.
absolutely. This is, yeah, like I said,
This
it's
is a-
advisory, so as long as everyone knows what we're doing, then,
It's kind of like a wish list, you know?
Yeah,
okay, I like
But at
that.
least it gives you something to work, it's a goal, you know?
Yeah.
It is,
Yeah.
it is.
Like,
I
that.
capture
So I
that.
think you got that down right.
Does the list look good, guys?
I think it does.
So there were
Yeah,
3 number 1s? 4 number 1s.
Try.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Even with my glasses, I have a hard time with this board.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. 3 that we think should be addressed this year, and the others in various range of
Yeah, and I think there's
evaluation and.
Yeah.
3 for this year, I think have a good reason why they're
Yep.
there.
I completely agree. I'm comfortable with this as it is now.
Yep, I am too.
Likewise here. We're an agreeable bunch, you know?
You're an agreeable bunch. Great, so that was the primary body of the agenda. Next is other business. I don't know if anyone had anything else. I
Mr.
guess.
Bouchard, would you like to say anything
So
else?
I'm sorry, could you vote on that?
Oh, right.
So can you just
So with.
Vote to recommend it to the planning board for public
Great.
hearing.
Thank you. So I'll look for a motion to recommend the scores that we just talked through to the, who is it, the
Planning board.
It's the planning board.
The planning board.
So move, Mr. Chair.
So move second.
Second. Doesn't matter.
All in favor?
Aye.
4-0.
Thank you.
All right, so we got public comment and we've got other business first, so let's go quickly. Does anyone have any other business?
Certainly invited to the planning board meeting that, has the public hearing also, so it's,
That will be, yes, I'm like
So we
fully
should
committed
go?
to that.
Um,
To
Absolutely.
explain our number 4s and 3s and stuff.
Yep, I think that's a very.
Yeah, I
good-
mean, you have your representatives from the board here, so you don't have to go and explain it. The intent is to have your representatives articulate that, but obviously it's a public hearing, so you're able to attend.
planning
It's not a
board is-
joint meeting though, because you're a subcommittee of the board, so it's not a joint meeting, but
Okay.
I'm trying to get that on the November 12th, but I'm not sure if I can fit it on that agenda, so I'll
yeah,
keep you
all-
posted.
All depends on the discussion. I don't
Yeah,
foresee a huge amount of discussion.
Yep.
Definitely there'll be, I think, some public input and questions mostly.
Yep.
But the planning board really differs from the CIP committee. I mean, we've shuffled things around from a priority 3 or 4 or something. It's taken care of in future years, so.
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
yeah, priority 1 projects are the focus, I think.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Absolutely.
And really, the final decision is the school board or the town council.
Yep.
And what they see fit to put on their warrants.
I think it looks good.
Yep.
I think it's logical and rational. Like, you can talk to somebody very rational about how those decisions were made. It wasn't just, oh, I like this project and I don't like that project. It came with some sincere thought behind it, and
Completely agree.
I think that's the part that's important.
Yeah, probably leave a footnote on what needs more information.
Yes. Yeah, that's great. The one thing I will also add for other business is at some point between now and next committee, next CIP session, maybe whoever would be responsible look at better defining the numbering and all that. Like, this was a little bit confusing,
yes.
being through this, and maybe just better explanations for the numbers and how to grade them in the view of the different projects, right? Like, they're very short and concise. I don't
So
know
I've-
who's in charge, who would be on that, and I'm happy to.
Me.
Oh,
So,
Really?
myself and the town manager have already started discussing,
Oh,
just
look at that.
revising this whole process so that it actually makes sense, and is actually useful.
Look at that, she's already.
So, that's not to say there's not opportunity for outside input, but I just mentioned that so that you understand,
No,
we're
that's-
already talking about
Perfect. That's
revising this, because it is challenging with the kind of limited defined rankings and whatnot. This isn't really consistent with how a lot of communities do it now, so we're looking at that now. We're looking at it now, so that we're ready come early spring.
It's fantastic to hear.
Yep.
You guys, I'm sure you guys have it, but if there's anything you want any help with, just let me know, but that's awesome. Great to hear.
I do want to go on the record in saying that Kelly and Sean have been doing, I don't think any of you can understand the amount of work that these guys have been doing to organize things that should have been done for the last 18 years and haven't been, and have been neglected, and getting things up to date where we need to be, more compliant, more organized, and less paper, and just, they've been doing an amazing job. I'm surprised. They're not juggling one ball, they got about 20. on one
Yeah,
leg.
there's a-
I think
there
they're
is-
doing a very good job.
there is a
So I didn't
lot
mean
of-
to embarrass you.
Thank you for saying that. We have a new town manager, and he said at the beginning that he was gonna come in and get things done, and that's what's happening, so.
Great.
And it's so,
That's good
so, we're
news.
so behind the eight ball as a town. So we're playing catch up.
But I
And
just,
even the school has a lot better, processes and procedures than we had had,
Yeah.
so.
there's a lot of positivity happening in town, at the
Yeah.
school side and town side. So
Yep.
we're just trying to keep that going,
Yeah,
so.
and I'll even slip Slater a kudos. He's been doing a good job in getting a lot of processes in and moving things forward and, going up to Concord and being a huge leader up there, so
Sure.
that's good.
Awesome.
It's exciting to see more positive in the town and all the negative we've been just dealing with. And now it's just nice to see the good come out of it.
Yeah, I think the system's been used for maybe at least 20, probably going on 30 years. It's old, ancient, and definitely needs some a breath of fresh air into it.
Awesome. So with that, the last thing is either Amity or Dan, we do have an open public comment. If there's anything else you guys would like to add?
Just thank you for your time.
Awesome. And with that, I will look for a motion to adjourn.
I will move that we adjourn, Mr. Chair.
We got a motion
I'll second that.
and a
Mr.
second.
Chair.
All in favor?
I
Aye.